Hey, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com, and we're really excited because we finally got in our hands the new V2 of the Ozone Alpha. This is their single strut, and I will tell you, we've had a great response with all the Alphas that we've used. We've used them in foiling, surf riding. They automatically drift. Really, really cool kite. If you have not experienced messing with single strut kites when you're getting out there foiling or surf riding, I tell you, advise you, definitely something to try. The Alpha V2 is fantastic. Rob has done a great job. I kind of go through things and see what he's changed and what is different on things and what the time they put into it. Now, I want to start with this. Any manufacturer out there, I will tell you, Ozone is one of them and a very few. Put the cloth, a piece of cloth for repair down the road. What happens is the colors of cloth are changing so dramatically that repair centers need some small pieces like this to keep the kite in perfect condition. Put that cloth back on. Ozone, kudos to you. I gotta say that. That is awesome. The second kudos to Ozone. When you make an ultralight kite, make me an ultralight bag. There's only like 2 brands out there of no strut or 1 strut that make it simple. I want to travel with it. Don't send me this big bulky bag. I like it. This is fantastic. This is a stuff sack that they came up with, kind of like a glider technology, but it works so well. I'm ready to travel with what I buy from Ozone, as well as you do get a bottle opener. All right, let's go into the kite. When you talk about the kite, we look through and see what they changed from the last models. Now, what they've done is, one thing they changed, instead of a segmented leading edge, they went to a constant curve leading edge. This, to me, in my opinion, makes a more balanced kite. That's why you will see almost every brand out there gets away from a lot of the segmented and going into the constant curve. It keeps everything equalized all the way through the kite instead of a flat area and then around it and then a flat and then around. Something that I highly like. I think it's an improvement, definitely. The biggest improvement that they've done on this kite is the materials. This is their ultralight ripstop Dacron. They've been using it on the new Wasp wings, and it's unbelievable how light it is. They've moved it into the Alpha. This thing comes out at 3.5 pounds for a 6 meter. That is really lightweight. No, it's not all the Alula type weights, but it's light enough. I will tell you, we spend a lot of time on 6s, and if we can lighten that up, keep that price right there, we're going to go through a lot of these. Fantastic kite. The other thing that he's done, Rob's done, is doing some variable bridle changes. Allow you to change that bridle just a little bit. What that does, you put it up into the higher point, that brings your bridle up, let your nose come a little bit further over into the deep power, and allows that range a little bit more to the deep power side. You let it out just a little bit, it sets that nose back, doesn't let it come forward, and they call it more of, what do they call it here? It looks like it's offshore, more freestyle. What that does is it makes the kite a little bit more grunty, give you a little bit more power, doesn't let it tip as far forward as what that does. A great little adjustment. Most people will set it on the free ride and never change it, but hey, give it a try, you never know. The other thing that they changed is their cloth. This is their new ripstop cloth. Everybody's going into a higher grade type cloth. What it does is just less stretch, longer life to a kite. The other thing that he's done is he's done this seam, and you'll see this little seam right here. This is going across the luff curve. This is the most important part and most loaded in a kite. This is where all your power comes from, all that shaping coming over that leading edge. That extra seam, I like that. I'm not 100% why Rob did it, but my suggestion is it reduces some stretch in that load zone. That's a high load. If you ever look at a kite and someone's flying that kite and has been doing it for a long period of time, you will look and you'll start seeing a pucker right in here because the cloth stretches, leading edge doesn't, and you get that little pucker. That is something to give it longevity. It'll reduce that stretch in that area. But all in all, I will tell you, the Alpha, he's done some great work on it, keeping it lightweight, keeping it simple, cutting out the things that you don't need. The other thing that he's added is a connection point down here. This is your backline connection point. And when you don't have the struts, it puts different load on the sail through the sail. Instead of having a single point connection, He's spread that load out down here, which is something that's really cool. I like that because you can get buckling, again, longevity, making a kite last longer. When you go into lighter materials, you need to support it just that little bit more, and it'll keep that kite lasting a long time. It still has the double layer trailing edge, which is a great thing. You can't go bad with. It's got the single pump inflation that they've always used. This is their new valves. This is the high flow valve. It's not the smaller one, it's the new one. So this thing pumps up super quick, dumps out super quick. This is a valve they've used for many years on the inflation. This is called the Large Boston. It is definitely a great valve, works on almost everything that they use, almost everything that they use, and it's proven and definitely works, dumps the air out and everything else. All in all, I will tell you, this is a great kite. If you're looking to upgrade, try to get the single struts. If you're foiling, get single struts. Single struts, no struts, they are phenomenal in the foiling range. And if you haven't tried these in the surf, I gotta tell you, there's some people out there that have never messed around with it, but take a single strut kite, no strut, grab your front lines, pull it down and let go. They're so lightweight, they wanna automatically drift. It's just something that they do because of their lightweight. So now you can keep shaping into it that you want for that power. I love these in the surf. The single strut kites in the surf and foiling, phenomenal. Anyway, this is the new Ozone V2 Alpha. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to give us a call. We spend a lot of time on these kites. This is definitely one of our favorite lineups for the single struts. Anyway, that's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com. Get you the new information, keep the toys in your hands.